Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture series on electronic devices and circuits. Today we are going to start our second module, biasing circuits of BJT and MOSFET. In this second module, we will study the different biasing circuits of BJT, JFET and MOSFET. But before that, we will see some important concepts like DC load line, operating point and the stability factor. So this video lecture will study DC load line, stability factor and the operating point. So first of all, we'll see what do you mean by DC biasing. So if we have to operate the transistor in any three regions like cutoff, saturation or active, then we have to connect the external DC power supply with correct polarity and magnitudes. And this process of connecting external power supply is called as DC biasing. So all of you got what do you mean by DC biasing? Operating transistor in any three regions by connecting external DC power supply with correct polarity and magnitude is called as DC biasing. Now, what are the requirements for the DC biasing? So, first requirement for DC biasing of circuit is that if we have to use the transistor as an amplifier, then we have to bias this transistor in active region. Then bias transistor in active region. While if we have to use transistor as on or off switch, we have to bias transistor in either saturation for on switch and or cutoff for off switch. Means based on the application of transistor, we have to bias that transistor either in active, saturation or in cutoff region. Then next requirement is related with the operating point. So that operating point means Q point. It should be adjusted approximately at the center of DC load line for voltage amplifier. It should be at center of DC load line for application of voltage amplifier. What is the next requirement? This Q point, it should not get affected due to the temperature change or device to device variations. Means the Q point depends on changes in the temperature as well as device to device variation, and it should not affect the position of Q point. So these are few requirements for DC biasing of the circuits. So in this requirement we come to know for 2 points. First is DC load line and second is Q point. So what is this Q point and DC load line? Now let's move to see what do you mean by Q point as well as DC load line. So DC load line. For this DC load line, let's consider one circuit. This is resistor RB, which is connected to the base of transistor. Emitter terminal is grounded. At collector, resistance RC and supply VCC is connected. At the base, here supply VBB with this polarity is provided. So this is our circuit. Now in this circuit, the current which is flowing through the base terminal or through this RB, this current is called as IB current, that is base current. This current is IB current, while the current flowing through this collector terminal is called as IC current. Now we'll see the procedure to plot the DC load line. To plot DC load line, we'll see the procedure. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to apply KVL to this collector and emitter loop. So we'll apply KVL in this manner for this circuit. So after applying KVL, what we'll get? We'll get plus VCC here minus IC into RC minus VCE. It is a voltage drop between collector and emitter is equal to 0. So by this way we'll apply KVL to this loop. So after applying KVL, we'll get VCC minus IC into RC. It is the voltage drop across this resistor minus VCE is equal to 0. Now we'll rearrange this equation. For that, we'll keep VCC and VCE to one side and ICRC to other side. So, and then rearranging this, we'll get IC is equal to minus 1 upon RC into VCE plus VCC upon RC. Means we have kept IC to one side and the rest of the terms we have kept to the other side, and will obtain this circuit. Now if we compare this equation with straight line equation, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So this is a straight line equation. Now we'll compare this equation with this equation. By comparing this, we come to know that IC is nothing but y, or y is nothing but IC. We'll write like this: y is equal to IC. What do you mean by x? X is nothing but VCE. M is nothing but slope of line, and that slope is represented here by minus 1 upon RC. So M is equal to minus 1 upon RC, and we'll have the constant C, that is nothing but VCC upon RC. So we have obtained these points by comparing straight line equation with the equation which we have derived here. Now here let's put VCE is equal to 0 in this equation number 1. Say it as equation number 1. So when we put VCE is equal to 0 in equation number 1, what we'll have? We'll have IC is equal to VCC upon RC. So we'll get IC is equal to VCC upon RC. And if we put IC is equal to 0 in this equation, what we'll get? We'll get IC is equal to 0. So we'll get VCE is equal to VCC. Okay. So by this way we can get 2 points. Let's consider this as a point A and this as a point B. Point A is having coordinates 0 and VCC upon RC, and point B is having coordinate VCC and 0. Now what we have to do? We have to first of all consider the output characteristics of the transistor. How are the output characteristics of our transistor? This axis is IC in milliampere. This axis is nothing but VCE in volts, and we are having the output characteristics like this. Let's consider this is IB is equal to 0 microampere. It is IB is equal to 10 microampere. Next, IB is 20 microampere. IB is 30 microampere. Here it is 40 microampere. And on this characteristics, we have to show our DC load line. So for point A, we can represent point A, VC is equal to 0 and IC is equal to VCC upon RC. So VCC upon RC is the maximum point on this IC axis. It is generally called as a IC max. So let's consider this point as VCC upon RC, means point A. We'll show point B. For point B, IC is 0 and VCE is equal to VCC. If our VCC point is at this location, it is our VCC. So what we have to do? We have to connect these two points, that is point A and point B. And when we connect point A and point B, we'll get the line like this, and this line is generally called as DC load line. It is called as a DC load line. Now why it is called as a DC load line? Because this line we have drawn under DC operating conditions without any AC signal at the input. If you observe this circuit, here this voltage supply is VBB, that is DC supply we have provided. AC supply is not given in this circuit, and we have drawn this load line, okay, and that's why it is called as a DC load line, because we draw this load line under DC operating conditions. That's why it is DC load line. Now the slope of this DC load line is equal to M, and what is the value of M here? M means minus 1 upon RC. So the slope of this line is minus 1 upon RC. So remember this, the DC load line is having the slope minus 1 upon RC. This is the maximum value of collector current called as a IC max, which is VCC upon RC, and this point where we'll get VCE is equal to VCC, this is the maximum value of VCE, which is VCE max. So VCE max is equal to VCC and IC max is equal to VCC upon RC, and the line joining these 2 points is called as a DC load line. Now on this DC load line, if we select one point, let's consider point at this location, then this point is called as a Q point, or it is also called as a quiescent point. Q point or quiescent point. This Q point is also called as operating point, Q point, it is called as operating point or bias point or quiescent point. Now the coordinates of this Q point we can observe here. If we take the vertical projection here, we'll get this point. Now this point is on VCE axis, so this point is called as a VCEQ, and on horizontal axis we'll get this point on this IC axis. This point is called as a ICQ. So these are the values of voltage and current at quiescent point, or it is also called as a at Q point. We'll get the VCE voltage as VCEQ and the IC current is called as a ICQ, or quiescent point collector current and quiescent point collector to emitter voltage. So these are the coordinates of Q point. So the Q point is represented by the coordinates VCEQ, ICQ. Now this DC load line, it is considered that this DC load line consists of such type of infinite number of operating points, means infinite operating points are present on this DC load line, or DC load line consists of infinite number of Q points. But the selection of Q point is very important based on the application of transistor. If we have to use transistor as an amplifier, we have to use the Q point, or we have to select the operating point at the center of DC load line. If we have to use the transistor as on or off switch, then we have to use the Q point either in the saturation or in the cutoff region. So this portion is saturation region, and this portion below this IB is equal to 0 is the cutoff, and the remaining portion, this is called as the active region. So for amplifier, the Q point is selected in the active region. Now we will see the effect of Q point on DC load line. So as previously told, the Q point can be represented in cutoff or in active region or in saturation region. So first of all, we'll see the Q point close to cutoff region, and for that we'll consider the characteristics like this. This is IC, this is VCE, and this one is our load line. Now let's consider this is our cutoff region. Below this IB is equal to 0 microampere, cutoff region is there, and at this location we are having our Q point. Okay, so for that what we'll do, we'll show here, we'll show the base current IB. Now what will happen here? During the positive half cycle, we'll get the base current IB, but the negative half cycle of the base current, that negative half cycle will be clipped. So this is called as IB current, and this one is IBQ. So the input current IB gets clipped since our Q point or the operating point is present in cutoff. So from as our current goes here, our transistor goes in active region, but as our current goes on decreasing and it goes into the cutoff region, what will happen? Below this point our base current will get clipped, and due to this what happens, our output voltage VCE, this is now our output voltage VCE, the output voltage also gets clipped like this. This is our VCEQ. This one is clipped waveform. So the waveform of output voltage VCE gets clipped. Positive waveform will be clipped. Now here let's consider this is the positive or half cycle of input base current. This is, for that positive half cycle will get the negative voltage like this, and for this negative clipped input current will get the positive clipped output voltage, and will get the collector current IC like this. So for positive half cycle of base current will get the positive half cycle of the collector current, will get the positive half cycle of the collector current, and for negative clipped waveform of base current, due to this clipped waveform our collector current will also gets clipped. So here we'll observe the distortion in collector current waveform, and our output voltage is also clipped. So if our Q point is selected near to cutoff region or in cutoff region, our output voltage and current will get distorted. So this is the effect of Q point near to cutoff. Now we'll see the effect of Q point near to saturation. Now if we select Q point at this location, what will happen? Here we'll get the base current like this. Positive waveform will be as it is. Wait. And we'll get the negative waveform like this. So this is positive waveform and this one is negative waveform. Now if you observe, for base current, this is IB. For base current, what happens? The positive waveform of base current goes into this saturation region. This one is saturation region. So positive half cycle of IB transistor goes into saturation. Therefore what happens? The collector current will remain constant at IC sat value. That will represent here like this. So this is waveform for IC, and our collector current will remain constant at this value called as IC sat during positive half cycle, and during negative half cycle we'll get the full waveform of collector current IC, and due to this means IC current will remain constant at IC sat value. Due to this, what happens? Our negative waveform of output voltage VCE, that will be clipped like this. So it will be clipped and our positive waveform will be remaining as it is. So here we'll get clipped output voltage as well as distortions are observed into the collector current. So this is the effect of Q point close to the saturation. Now we'll see the effect of Q point in active region. For that, again we'll consider the output characteristics of BJT transistor. This is our DC load line. Now let's consider this is our selected value of Q point, or this is our Q point. This is VCE max or VCC. This is our VCC upon RC point. This is IC. This is VCE. Now what will happen? We'll show this is our IBQ value for base current, and our base current will vary from this maximum point to this minimum point, means positive half cycle will get clearly, and here it is the negative half cycle of base current, and due to the change in base current will also observe the same change in the IC current. So positive half cycle of IC current and negative half cycle of IC current. This middle value is generally called as a ICQ value. This is IC max. This is IC min. Similarly, this is IB min. and this one is IB max. And since this collector current flows, due to this we'll also get the voltage drop across output. So this is called as a VCE voltage. This point is called as VCEQ. So for change in positive waveform of IB, we'll get the negative waveform or negative voltage drop across the output, and for this negative waveform of input current, we'll get the positive voltage drop at the output. So this is the voltage drop for input positive waveform, and this is the voltage drop for negative input waveform. This point is called as VCE max and this point is called as VCE min. So by this way, if we select our Q point at the center of load line, this is the approximately this point is center of load line. So if Q point is selected approximately at the center of load line, we'll observe that there are no any distortions into the output current, as well as our output voltage is also not clipped. That's why if we have to use the transistor as an amplifier, we have to select Q point exactly or approximately at the center of this DC load line. So here in this video lecture we have seen the concept about stability factor. That stability factor will cover in next session, but we have seen the concept of biasing of circuits, then DC load line and Q point. Stability factor will cover in our next session. Thank you for watching the video.